All right, so thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be taking a question. Interestingly, another question from Jamaica from a guy called McLean, and he's got two questions. What are McLean's questions?
He's asking what are the best two ways to make money in 2023?
Okay, in 2023 or just in general?
In general, but specifically in 2023.
Okay, so you mentioned 2023. Okay, so McLean, I researched your question and I talked about it before, and it's something that if you are a regular subscriber of this channel, you know I've talked about it. So maybe because I didn't limit it to 2023, I talked about it that it was the best ways, and then you probably just missed that. So in 2023, not a lot has changed from 2022, 2021. Generally, the best way to make money is in real estate. Now, it's not always the case. There are some times when real estate is distressed. It's not always the case, but then we are in a peculiar situation because in the United States, the real estate market is going down, especially in the West Coast. So you have an opportunity to buy homes that you will not have been able to buy at an affordable rate. So I'm investing, for instance, in real estate in the West Coast. In the East Coast, prices were rising, but then they've also started to fall, not as fast as in the West Coast, but then they're going to fall because of what's been happening in America, the macroeconomic indicators in America. So we're seeing that interest rates are still high, there's a tightening of credit, and then we're seeing the regional banks collapsing, Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, and then Valley Bank. So that has had an effect on the American economy. And not just that, you see with the American economy, you're seeing that, yes, tech stocks, the NASDAQ is doing quite well. But then you're also having issues in other areas of the stock market, because not everything in the stock market is tech stocks. And that's why crypto hasn't risen back to the level where it was, where we saw Bitcoin at about $65,000. So a very good place to start right now is going to be real estate. Invest in real estate. Now, I've told people before that you do not need citizenship requirement to invest in real estate. So McLean, from Jamaica, you can actually invest in real estate in America. You can do that directly, with cash in hand, or you can do that with a real estate agent, or you can go through Redfin. There are a number of ways to do this. There are a number of ways to do this. But then the best way to make money in 2023 is because if you don't invest in real estate right now, if you say, oh, no, it's still too expensive, what's going to happen is that it hits the bottom of the market. And if I take a ball, once I release a ball will keep going down. It keeps going down. Eventually, it's going to hit the floor. Once it hits the floor, it's going to bounce up. So it goes to a level, it hits the floor, it cannot go lower than the floor, it cannot go subterranean. So from the floor, it has, let's say, a rebound, and then it goes back up. And then, so we're seeing the bottom of the market. What I think, and what a lot of experts have said, is the bottom of the market. So maybe by June, July, you're going to see prices start going up incrementally. And then, these homes that are right now affordable are going to be out of your reach. So I think that real estate is the best way to go. Real estate is the best way to go. Now, a lot of people are saying to me in one of my videos, I've done videos on this before, that they can't afford the rates in California. In California, the average home is about $726,000. They can't afford that. In Florida, a place like Florida, where it's much lower, it's about $340,000. They're saying, okay, they still cannot afford that. You see, you're making a fundamental mistake. You see, you're thinking that you have to be able to buy a home outrightly. Now, you can do that. People like me and other people are buying homes outrightly. But then there is another pathway to invest in the real estate market, and that's with something called REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. So what's a REIT? Now, a REIT is this. You have, let's say, a pool of funds. A company that has a pool of funds, and then you just send your money to them. Maybe it's as little as $5, it might be $100, it might be $500, it might be $1,000. And so they're going to use that money to buy buildings. Now that the stock market is having challenges and the real estate market, is down, and before it goes up, they're going to buy a lot of properties. So they'll buy malls, they'll buy residential homes, they'll buy, commercial properties. And then, so if you put in $5, if you put in $50, if you put in $100, you're going to have a share in that building. And so at the end of the day, every year, you're going to be getting your return on your investment. Something, real estate, they typically give, you have your cash flow. Your cash flow is going to be something like maybe between 10 to 12% typically. your cash flow. So if you put in renters, by the time you've paid all your bills, you've paid your taxes, you've done everything, in a year's time, you're looking to make compound annual growth rate of about 12%. So with rates, it's the same thing. Real estate investment trust is just the same thing, but the only difference is that you are not the full owner or owner of the property. So you're just a part owner of the property. So what they do is that at the end of the year, they get the profits from the property. So all the rents that have been paid, all the monies that have been, maybe they put it on Airbnb, or maybe it's a hotel, whatever profit has been made on that property. So everybody gets his own share of interest. So if you maybe you have $5 in it, if you have $100 in it, so the percentage of your interest is going to determine the percentage of the profit that you get, the return on your investment. So that's another way, and it's very easy. You can get into a real estate investment trust today, and there are a number of them. I think the most successful in the world will be Realty Income Corp, and then you also have MAA, Mid America Apartments, and then there are a bunch of them. You can go on Google or you can go on ChatGPT and just say, can you give me a list of the best rates to invest in? So, and you don't have to invest in rates in America or in Canada or in North America or in Mexico or in the United Kingdom or in Europe. The rates in India are doing very good. So they've got rates in India, they've got rates in parts of Africa, South Africa. I believe they've got rates in also some parts of North Africa. You can invest in those. I would recommend investing in rates in America and Canada because in my experience, those are the rates that tend to do the best. But then you can invest in rates all over the world. So those are the two best investments: real estate as an investment, or if you can't afford to buy a home and then put it out for rent or maybe Airbnb or just short let, then you go the route of real estate investment trust. And then if you look at it, if you invest money in the S&P 500, you're going to be getting about 8% interest per annum. So your CAGR, your compound annual growth rate, is going to be giving you something like 8%. But then if you are investing in real estate, you're looking at getting about 12%. If it's a real estate investment trust, probably about 10%. So you're doing much better than people who are in the stock market, people who are, enjoying their 401k. It's a very good way to go. And it's not just in 2023, especially if you get in now, when the market is down, before it starts to bounce back up, it's going to give you a very good lifetime income. Now, I hope you understand this, McLean, and other people watching. Now, maybe I've talked too fast, or maybe my accent is funny, or maybe you just don't like my face, and so you weren't concentrating to what I said. So you have questions. If you have questions, it's okay. It's very easy. Put your questions in the comment section of this video. My staff are going to bring them to me, and I'll do my best to respond to each and every category. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Telegram channel, or a Gmail email address. So you got to understand that, scammers have seen that my videos tend to go viral, so they created a number of fake YouTube profiles, and then they approach people in the comment sections of my videos, telling them helpline, guideline, one-on-one, contact, if you contact this number. And then if you contact them, they're going to dupe you, you pay $1,000, and that's the last you're going to hear from them. And you start chasing me all over social media. Say, Pastor Wendell, you've duped me. No, that's why I'm giving you this warning. And this one, I'm the Apostle of Prosperity, saying, God bless you.